What is your greatest fear? Hello world, my name is David Dorn and this is my show. And recently I was asked that question, what is my greatest fear? And they were referring to ministry because I'm a pastor, and they were asking what my greatest fear was in ministry. And I answered that it was getting burnt out. It was just not having anything else to give, not taking enough time for myself, and just being totally wasted on ministry. And while that is a legitimate fear of mine, the more I've reflected upon the question, the deeper it has gotten as to what my fear is. And I think my greatest fear is to stop seeing people the way Jesus does. And I'm nowhere near perfect of that, but my fear is to stop even trying. Luke chapter 7. There's a story of Jesus going to this religious man's home. This Pharisee, this religious man, invited Jesus over for dinner, but didn't show or extend to Jesus any of the common courtesies that were there at the time, were common for the time, like washing Jesus' feet when he entered the house, kissing him on either cheek, anointing his head with oil. This guy didn't do that for Jesus, but Jesus is kicking back, enjoying dinner with this man. But a woman hears that Jesus is nearby, and the Bible refers to her as a sinner, or at least everybody else referred to this woman as a sinner. And she grabbed the thing that was most valuable to her, which was a bottle of very expensive perfume, and she runs over, she crashes the party, she bursts into this religious man's house. If TMZ was there, it would have created a huge scandal. And this woman, she falls down at the feet of Jesus. Now, given this woman is referred to as a sinner, or their perfume would have been used more than likely to lure men in, because people stunk back then, so she's more than likely a prostitute, or at least she's known for her sexual exploits in the community, because as soon as she walks in, everybody labels her a sinner. She falls at Jesus' feet. She starts crying. Her tears are enough to wet Jesus' feet. She cleans his feet with her hair. She pours this perfume on them. She's kissing his feet, and this religious man's like freaking out on Jesus. And he says, if Jesus is who he says he is, he would know what kind of a woman that is touching him. And he wouldn't let this happen. And everybody else is like stopped partying because they're watching this spectacle. This is a rather intimate act that's taking place, and Jesus isn't telling her to stop. Then Jesus looks at the religious man. I love this. He looks at him and he tells him a parable. He says, 2 men owed a lender a lot of money. One man owed the lender a lot of money, the other owed less. But the lender forgave both of them their debt. Which man loved the lender more? And Jesus poses this question to this Pharisee. The Pharisee says, well, of course, it is the one who owed the man the most. And Jesus said, that's right. The one who's forgiven of a lot loves a lot. The one who's forgiven little loves little. And I guess my greatest fear comes down to, forgetting how much I've been forgiven of. Becoming like this religious man who apparently either was forgiven of little or just was oblivious because of the way he was treating this woman by labeling this person as a sinner and someone who just did not deserve to be near Jesus.